Where were you when you heard that Osama bin Laden had been killed? Do you remember exactly where you were when you heard? I was here in Washington, which is weird because I'm not very frequently here, but it was the weekend of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I had to work at the MSNBC party after the dinner on Saturday night. So the following day, Sunday, when bin Laden was killed, I was at a Washington, D.C. hotel with Susan and with two of our friends, and we were watching an unexpectedly good Ben Affleck cops and robbers movie called The Town. I don't know how it ends, and do not tell me, because before it ended, my BlackBerry started going off like the 4th of July, and there was word that the president was going to speak. And then there was word of what the president was likely to say. And then everyone in the country, at least 56 million of us, at 11:35 p.m. on a Sunday night, we all, the whole country, watched this. President walking up to the podium in the East Room of the White House and making the announcement. Osama bin Laden was dead. After I watched the president make the announcement, I went over to the White House to report on the celebration happening on the street outside the White House. But even though that was a pretty remarkable place to be and a pretty remarkable thing to see, this is really what's burned into my mind in terms of that night. That is the announcement of Osama bin Laden's death. That is the American president saying to the country after 10 years, we got him. That is the image for all of us. It is indelible. This is the cover of Dick Cheney's new book. The publisher released it yesterday. Remind you of anything? Dick Cheney's book pictures him in the same suit and the same shirt and the same tie and the same flag pin and the exact same placement of the flag pin, standing in the exact same place where President Barack Obama announced the death of Osama bin Laden. He is standing in the exact same place. The picture for his book taken from exactly the same angle, except, of course, on his book cover, Mr. Cheney stands a head taller than President Obama. Dick Cheney's new book pictorially makes him the guy who killed bin Laden, or at least the guy who got to announce it, in that suit and that tie and that flag pin, in that room of the White House, standing between those two lamps, just slightly off center to the right, looking just so. They might as well have photoshopped Dick Cheney's head onto one of the Marines at Iwo Jima. No, you look great, Mr. Vice President. We'll make it look like a candid. The front page of President Obama's big speech today was the Arab Spring, the populist uprisings in the Middle East, and America's role in facilitating democratic change in that region, and development and peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. The unspoken big political elephant in the room, though, was the question of how much more political room to operate this president now has on all foreign policy issues, not just on Israel and Palestine, not just on the Arab Spring, but on the wars in particular, now that bin Laden is dead, and now that we all know on whose watch it happened, and we will not be persuaded to forget it.